North American formations. Welcome, guys, again back to the channel, Ranking with Dinosaurs, where today we rank dinosaurs. Not necessarily dinosaurs, but where dinosaurs used to live. So, again, this is going to be a new series. I've been teasing it a bunch because I got the idea in one of the videos I was uh, making, and I don't know where I was like, oh, would it be cool if I made like a, we got a lot of formations where a lot of different dinosaurs lived, a lot of environments, a lot of snippets into a time and into a bygone era. So I thought I definitely have to do a formations tier list. Now, formations. There are a ton of formations. There are so many formations. Like, I was doing my research and I was like, oh my god, how am I going to make this a video? And, it was a simple answer. It's not going to be a video. It's going to be a bunch of videos. But, again, I was thinking, how do I separate or kind of put them into categories? And I think the best way to do it is, as I'm making with the sauropod series, is that I'll be making it by continent, separating them by continent. I think that's the best way. Gives them all a first shot between all the different environments, and yeah, I think we're gonna stick with it. So we're gonna be starting with North America in this one. So again, just in North America there are a ton. So I'm probably gonna be, after I cover all the continents, I'll probably do reach around and go back to North America again. But this is gonna be the 8 for the today's tier list. So without further ado, we're gonna be starting with the Morrison formation. So we're gonna be starting with probably one of, if not the most iconic of the formations in this video. Now this shows us the Upper Jurassic, and is probably the most fertile source of dinosaur fossils. So this formation encompasses some states like Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. And back in the day, back in the good old Upper Jurassic, the climate was a little more dry. It had a like savanna. It kind of was like a savanna type of prairie or area, kind of looked like that. But there were no angiosperms, so no grass, no flowers, and some types of trees that were definitely in there, not at all present. And there were more conifers more than anything. So ginkgos, cycads, tree ferns, horsetail. But yes, this are most of the vegetation over there. But again, the real star of the show is the hundreds of dinosaur fossils. So we got the likes of Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Torvosaurus. Again, 3, I don't want to say megatheropods, but big theropods. Got Ornitholestes for a smaller theropod. You got Camptosaurus, Stegosaurus. You even have some very early ankylosaurs like Mimurpelta, and a myriad of sauropods in this formation, which suggests that there was a ton of different fitting strategies between all of them. You got Diplodocus, you got Camarasaurus, you got Brachiosaurus, you got what else? Apatosaurus, Brontosaurus, Barosaurus, even some not so much well-known ones like Haplocanthosaurus or Supersaurus. This place is insane. Right out of the gate, I think we all know where I'm gonna put it. So I was gonna save you the chatter. It's gonna be S tier, the Cloverly formation. Now this particular formation encompasses a large amount of time. So this is early and late Cretaceous. It's present over here. And I couldn't find a ton about the, like, what the environment might have looked like, but it has a little bit of overlap with the Antlers formation. That's another one. Where it could have been, it may be a large floodplain, and that drained into the shallow inland sea. Where I've talked about that one before, the interior sea. So that floodplain may have drained into that sea specifically. But yeah, again, because it has some overlap, there are some trackways that we found of some of the animals that lived in this formation. And speaking already about the fossils in this formation, there are some heavy hitters. Like some very important vertebrate fauna were found here. So we got the Ankylosaurus sauropelta, for example, little Aquilops as well. We got Tenontosaurus, and if you see Tenontosaurus, you already know you got Deinonychus, and you get Acrocanthosaurus. Hell yes, the North American Carcharodontosaur. But yes, you also got the huge ass Sauroposeidon, and one of the few Cretaceous sauropods from North America. And for his other fauna, you got mammals like Trigodons, you got turtles like Glyptops, and Ceratodus represent some of the fish over there. Again, there's a much more, but Cloverley Formation, I like it. It is unique, so I'm gonna put it in A tier. It is unique, yes. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Cedar Mountain Formation. Now, this place is from the Cretaceous, and this place is very interesting because some of the discoveries made here point towards the origin of some of the later, much later Cretaceous dinosaurs that we found much later in the fossil record. So it is really interesting and really important in terms of dinosaur evolution. Now, as for the area, it was much more like wooded habitat, so a lot of forests and some riverine forests as well, and that were separated by much more open areas. Like it was a rather dry climate, but with short wet seasons. But yeah, for Cedar Mountain, again, we got some heavy hitters as for fossils, dinosaur fossils. So you got ankylosaurs like Cedarpelta and Gastonia. And if Gastonia is here, then Utahraptor is here. Yes, this is the place where Utahraptor and Gastonia were found. Not only that, we got Iguana colossus, is a ornithopod with another one that I found out. It's called a Fauna, which is a thessalosauride. Very interesting one, actually. Usually with this not so well known ones, I would think they're not as well documented, but these guys have like whole specimens. So I just found out about it. So I thought that was pretty cool. We got some sauropods, Astrodon and Cetosaurus, pretty cool. Therizinosaurs like Falcarius, other theropods like Morus and Ceots, very interesting. And some sharks too, because there's some aquatic fauna too as well. We got like Hybotis and mammals like Masinctus. Cedar Mountain. Do I want to put it in S tier? I don't. Oh god, I think it's at the same level as. Yeah, the Kayenta Formation. Now, this formation is very well known. This is an early Jurassic formation, and it is very famous not only because of the fossil material here, but a lot of dinosaur trackways also are found in this particular one. And correct me if I'm wrong, is this a formation where the sitting print of the Dilophosaurus was found? I can't remember if it's this one specifically, but a lot of trackways are found in the year. Some of the environmental quirks of this place were there were a lot of sandy dunes in the northern part, like sandy dune fields. A lot of different streams, like ponds and lakes, were around the area. They had very rainy summers and a lot of dry winters. So pretty insane type of environment that we're living. The dinosaurs and some of its inhabitants are very interesting too. So we got creatures like Scutellosaurus, Salidosaurus, already top tier animal, top tier dinosaurs. We got Sarahasaurus, a sauropodomorph, pretty awesome too. Coelophysis, again, this is early Jurassic. So some Coelophysid or Coelophysis, I can't remember which one. I think Coelophysis. And the big Dilophosaurus guys, yes, the big boys here. And there are some pterosaurs too. Ramphinion is one, which interestingly is not a ramphorhynchid, but a dimorphodon type type of pterosaur. There are some synapsids as well, like Kayenta. So, some stem mammals, and yeah, there's a lot of bivalves too as well. Interestingly, they found a lot of different bivalve. How do you say it? Bivalves, fossils. I'm sorry, my English is not 100% perfect. But yes, Kayenta Formation. I'm gonna do it, guys. It's gonna be an S tier. The Two Medicine Formation. Now, this is from the companion of the Cretaceous, late Cretaceous, and this encompasses northern Montana, northern Montana and southern Alberta. So it's all of that northern region of North America. This place showed a lot of seasonal and semi-arid climate. Possible rain shadows because there's a huge Cordilleran highland like right beside it. So rain shadows is basically the part where it doesn't rain because there's a huge mountain and it blocks all the rain coming. And yes, so it was long dry seasons and very warm temperatures because some of the dinosaur fossils in this area shown signs of drought-related deaths. So they were dying of, that terrible drought. And yes, some insane fossil compilation we have here. There was a southern part which had a higher elevation. I don't know if we found dinosaur fossils there. Probably yes, but I don't know which one specifically. But this place has a ton. We got Edmontonia. We got Euplocephalus, Anodontosaurus, Achelosaurus. Well, I'm gonna start naming you like ceratopsians. Achelosaurus, Ionosaurus, Stellosaurus. Which, speaking of Stellosaurus, I just acquired this figure of a Stellosaurus. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Back into the video. Styracosaurus too. We got some Dromaeosaurs like Bambiraptor. We got Sarnitholestes, pretty awesome. Some hadrosaurs like Gryposaurus, Maiasaurus from this formation too. Orodromeus as well, and the two apexes from this place, Daspletosaurus and Gorgosaurus. And we also have some other non-dinosaurs, Champsosaurus from there. There's an Asdarkid called Montanasdarko. Still, still very incomplete, but Asdarkids, we all love them, and I'll take it. It's gonna be an A tier, honestly. I love this formation. I love the formations. Judith River Formation. Now, this formation takes place in the Companion, and it is very historically important because we found fossils here since the 1870s, and with Cope, the famous paleontologist, and where this is the formation where he named Monoclonius, one nomen dubium ceratopsian that it's not accepted anymore, but pretty interesting. This place had very strong seasonal changes, especially in precipitation and temperature as well. So, as for the fauna here, there's a lot of similar fauna between Judith River and Two Medicine Formation. Like, for example, well, not for example, but one of the differences, or one of the things that I found here, well, I found, that I researched that are found in the Judith River, is some interesting crocodilians like Brachychampsa and the famous Deinosuchus is from this formation too. But yeah, for example, Hadrosaurids, the other formation has a lot. This one too. This one has Brachylophosaurus and Corythosaurus. We got some Ankylosaurs in Edmontonia and Zool. And again, a ton of ceratopsians. We got Albertoceratops. We got Avaceratops, Furcatoceratops, Judiceratops, Lokiceratops, Medusaceratops, and Mercuryceratops. Like, bro, if you're a ceratopsian fanatic, this is your place. And I love ceratopsians. And also, Spiclipius is also from this formation too. As for theropods, we got some Dromaeosaurids and Dromaeosaurus. Saurnitholestes is also from here, and this is where the original, I believe, it's the original place where we found Troodon. And what I mean that we found is that we found the tooth. Sorry, my bad. And again, two apex predators. The most famous ones from the companion is Daspletosaurus and Gorgosaurus. And another theropod I forgot was Hesperornis. Very important to point that out. Is it gonna be A tier as well? I feel I have to put two medicine down. Just one peg. The Horseshoe Cannon Formation. Now, this formation, again, really important, really famous. It actually encapsulates and showcases a ton of different environments, which are represented right here. We got offshore and nearshore marine habitats. Well, not marine. Well, yeah. Shore marine habitats. We got coastal-like as well. Coastal-like environments like lagoons, estuaries. And there was actually a peat swamp also adjacent in this area. But yeah, the real start of the show, again, the dinosaur fossils. Insane amount. Again, we got the apex predator, first of all, the Tyrannosaurid, Albertosaurus, king supreme of this region. You got Ornithomimus and Struthiomimus. For other theropods, you got Atrociraptor, you got Albertonicus, Apatoraptor is a Canicnathid from this formation as well. Again, some different ceratopsians, Anchiceratops, Arenoceratops, Pachyrhinosaurus. You can't mention it without mentioning Albertosaurus. As for Hadrosaurs, I think there's Hypacrosaurus and Saurolophus as well. Yep. And as for Ankylosaurus, Edmontonia, and is it Anodontosaurus? It is Anodontosaurus, yes. But yes, this region, again, pretty awesome. I love it. Love Pachyrhinosaurus and Albertosaurus. This is a whole place I really like. I'm gonna put in A tier. The Hell Creek Formation. Now we come at the end of the North American formations with one of the most intensely studied geological formations, period, in the world of all time. This place, contrary to popular belief, which probably by the media and mainly Walking with Dinosaurs, this place was flourishing with life. It was a heavy woodland environment. It had a low floodplain. There was a diversity of angiosperms. There were flowering plants. What else? Ferns, moss grew on the forest floor. A lot of river systems. All of that, very luscious, very green, very much alive and thriving. Was the end of the Cretaceous, especially in North America. And the real stars of the show are some dinosaurs you might have not heard of before. They're not very well known. You got, Tyrannosaurus Rex. You got Triceratops. You got Ankylosaurus, Edmontosaurus, Thessallosaurus, Ornithomimus, Pachycephalosaurus too, and some small troodontids like Pectinodon. Pretty overlooked animals in general. But yeah, Hell Creek. This is my thing with Hell Creek. If we're looking at it by itself, it's awesome. If we compare it to other formations, I think it falls flat. I think the most distinct part of Hell Creek is the most particular and different fauna that I found of Hell Creek is probably Pachycephalosaurus, and do I want to say Tyrannosaurus? Because there are other Tyrannosaurs and much more different ones in the other formations. So, I don't know. Triceratops from this formation. Torosaurus, again, 2. Only 2. We got 6 different Ceratopsians in other formations. So, I think it falls flat. I think it's going to surprise you, but Hercule's gonna be a B tier. That is it for the video, guys. This is the first in a series of different formations around the world. Today we covered North American formations. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite formation from North America? Which ones do you want to watch in the next video? Let me know. How would you make your own tier list? Again, comment helps a lot. Like the video, please. It helps a lot. Subscribe. It helps even more. And again, I want to thank you guys for the huge amount of support that the videos are getting. You guys watching the videos is what actually pushes me to keep making these videos, because I'm having a ton of fun making them. And I'm glad you're liking them too. So, thank you guys. Once again, I said it like 20 times, but I really appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video.